Welcome to this introductory video on this playlist about biological controls. We run a family business here in Sussex at Fletching Glasshouses, and we use these biological controls as pest controls in the organic part of our business. What follows here is based on our own experiences. Now, neither of us are trained entomologists, although we do have a background in plant science. So what follows is what we found out to work. One of the things that we think is useful is to sort of try and put this into context. We shouldn't be thinking that we're going to sort of get the pests with this and wipe them out, because what we're seeking to do is to achieve some kind of natural balance. We are, after all, gardening within the context of the natural world, and you can see from the diagram that this is all part of a cycle, that the sunlight is turned into food matters by the plants, they're eaten by animals, there's a cycle that the CO2 comes back out again, and everything is in balance. And one of the things that we try and do with the predators is to try and bring the things into balance so that there's a reasonable ecosystem, which means that we get most of what we want, while the other organisms, who to some extent are in competition with us, get enough to keep them in existence without them becoming overwhelming, because it's only when they become overwhelming that we really regard them as pests. Broadly speaking, we have 4 ways in which we can tackle each type of pest. There's chemical control, cultural control, physical control, and biological controls. Chemical control means poisoning the pests chemically. Often these poisons go right through the plant and then the pest, and then affect the whole ecosystem. We don't use this method. The only insecticides we use are the ones that have a physical effect on the insect only. Like, for example, soft soap will block up their spiracles and stop them breathing. A lot of good ways of defending plants, by contrast, come under the heading of cultural control, which means avoiding things like avoiding blight by not planting at certain times in the year, deterring slugs by making sure there aren't things on the ground for them to hide under, and generally being smart. In our glass houses here, we grow a particularly early variety of tomato, which enables us to get a good crop in before the blight kicks in. Then you can get, in a sense, you can extend cultural control so that you can have physical barriers in place, using a mesh to stop carrot fly, using sticky traps to catch moths, or picking off caterpillars. And as I say, physical soft insecticides fall into this category because they don't poison the insect but stop it moving or breathing. And finally, we come to biological controls, which means letting the natural enemies of the pest control the population. Sometimes the enemies are parasites, sometimes they're predators, sometimes both. And we're going to take some examples of pests that we deal with in our own glass houses and tell you what predators or parasites we might get help from. So I'm going to choose mainly common pests which you might encounter yourselves. So in this playlist, we're going to look at 5 specific types of pests and the predators that we use to control them in our own glasshouse environment. First of all, we're going to look at the use of parasitic nematodes to kill slugs. Then we're going to look at predator mites to kill spider mites and other mites. Then we're going to look at how we might use parasitic wasps to kill whitefly. We're going to look at mealybug predators, which will eat the young of the mealybugs. And finally, we're going to look at the control of aphids. So we're going to go through these one by one through the rest of the playlist. So I hope you find it interesting. As we mentioned at the beginning, we're a family business which is based in Newark in Sussex. We operate from Fletching Glasshouses, and we sell plants as plants for presents, which is a sort of gift business. We sell actually these organic pest control predators via Ladybird Plant Care, and we grow vegetables as Fletching Glasshouses. So if you want any more information, these are our contact details.